Between Apologies, everyone. I'm running into a bit of a technical issue. I'm trying to solve it as fast as I can, but we'll be with you in a moment.
Pump the jam.
Pump up
Pump
the volume.
the jam, pump it up while the party's bumping.
It drives me crazy.
And the jam is pumping.
Like no one else. Luigi Mangione. Yeah.
And they say a hero save us.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Kazador's Guide to the Cosmos. I hope you're ready for some more shenanigans as we get to the heart of the matter.
Keanu Reeves.
Indeed.
Ooh, shit, that's a good one. Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fish cooked just right.
Ooh, shit.
Lawrence Fish raw. But, yes, welcome back, everybody.
Citric Kazador, George Lucas.
Let's
Carrie
go around
Ann
the horn
Moss.
and... Oh, hang on, I gotta appease Darky Arts real quick. Alright, let's go around the horn and introduce ourselves. Starting
the
with...
tiniest dude. The smallest dude to ever do.
Flirted with that one.
TheropodArt. Where can they find you and what are you up to?
Hi, hello, it's me, TheropodArt. Sorry, I forget that I'm first on Kazador's Guide. You can find me over on Blue Sky. You can also find me over on Furfinity and Tumblr and pretty much any other site. Just like TheropodArt, look me up, I'm around. You can also find the naughty stuff, Lizard Fun Bags, over on Twitch. I stream sometimes, I promise. I'm trying to have a consistent schedule, but you know, life is life. Other than that, commissions are open. If you give me money, I will draw you a thing. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. Other than that, Tuesday, same channel. Vecna, Eve of Ruin. I play my big booby lizard lady. It's fun. It's great. We just did a really cool thing that I'm not going to spoil.
That was a very cool set. It was a very cool session.
Yeah, sorry about all the spiders. But other than that, oh yeah, Thursdays, we got Pack Tactics with all Warlock game over on Burnout Vaughn's channel. And that's me.
Hell yeah, brother.
Lance Reddick.
Those days.
Thanks, Reddick. Rest in peace.
Lancer? Lancer?
No, Lance Reddick.
No.
Oh.
No, Lancer.
You're like a golden retriever that was activated with the word walk.
At least not
Yep,
right now.
yep.
But up next we've got XanillisGrimm.
Oh shit, that's me.
Oh fuck!
Hell yeah!
You can catch me over my Twitch
We're
channel.
cracking open cold ones.
All right, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh, actually, rather.
How many can I do, chat?
First and foremost, you catch me over tomorrow, twitch.tv/unexpectable 6 p.m. PST for some more Gateway with Connor over here. Then on Sunday, twitch.tv/burnoutbond at 3 p.m. PST for some more Those Who Wander, run by the lovely Sarah's here. Leah is also there, and it's a great time. Then Mondays, twitch.tv/AnnalisGrimm at 7 p.m. PST. I was waiting. No. For some more Stalwart Souls, the D&D campaign I run for a few friends. If you like space, if you like D&D, there's more there. Then twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 1 p.m. PST on Tuesdays for some more Vecna Eve of Ruin, as Thero said. Then Thursdays, twitch.tv/MontyGlue at 7 p.m. PST for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We're pretty deep into the module. If you like high-level D&D content, that'll be there for you. And then lastly, right back here on Fridays. Same bad time, same bad channel. That's me.
I have 7 open cans of LaCroix on my desk. This is a problem.
What?
I'll say, if
what
y'all
have you
like
done?
with this campaign, you would like what's going on in Mad Mage right now.
You better drink all of those before the session's over.
7
Hakka's gonna be
cans
gassy
of
as
water?
shit.
You're gonna have to pee so fucking much tonight.
Thero, I appreciate you.
I did it for the bit.
You did it for the bit.
Cirrus, where can they find you and what are you up to?
Hi! You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl, where we're prepping for things that will eventually be revealed. Starting with, of course, on Sunday, we have another installment of Those Who Wander.
Hell yeah, I'll drink to that.
Yeah!
Taps microphone with can. No, so we've got another installment. We are in the thick of it, quite literally. If you are a fan of sort of gothic horror, Domains of Dread, come check it out. It's a good time. People are in the thick of it, in the throes, and stuff is evolving in real time. In addition to that, we've got Monday over at the Amusing Thalia's channel, where we are ruining some deltas. I will actually be there this week. I'm so excited.
It's been such a fun stream. I love that stream.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been a really good time. Not really sure what else is happening middle of the week, but I can promise you we'll be back on Friday for more Kazadors right here. Same bat time, same bat channel. And then because I do get to share this. We are a little off schedule next week as well. The 17th, that Sunday, we're doing a very special one-shot over at Burnout Vaughn's channel. Please come check it out. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Leah will also be there. There will also be a couple of familiar faces, familiar friends, and friends of a couple of additional folks that are here. Please come support. Please come check it out. That's me.
Excellent. And we could literally not do any of this without our fantastic GM, Amusing Thalia.
Gotta be part of the group, you know.
Indeed.
I'm out of cans to crack open. This is bad.
I have more, I just don't have, the spirit is not willing to drink this much Dr. Pepper.
The body is able, but the spirit isn't willing. Okay, I have to go put this sparkling water back as soon as I finish here. Hello, thank you for having me here. I am Amusing Thalia. I am a GM, creator, video gamer, do things on a lot of different channels right now. Kind of have stuff on my channel. You can find VODs from my channel on my YouTube, same tag, at Amusing Thalia. I'm doing a Deltarune playthrough, got a TTRPG thing that's really just like trying out a bunch of different video games and systems and stuff, and talking about it with my friends, Aqua and Ray. And then I am putzing around on other people's channels. You can find me on Burnout Vons. You can find me here. And that is it for now. I appreciate y'all being here, and look forward to whenever we see you in chat or whenever we see you on other channels. But yeah, next week will be my usuals, same time here, 3 to 3:30 start time. PST, that is. But I'll be honest. I do all of this with the power of magic. That's right. I am secretly a sorcerer.
Oh.
But unfortunately for me, I had to give up my beard powers. So I am deeply weakened these days. But Connor, on the other hand, Connor has the true magic of beard sorcery.
Beard sorcery!
It's true. Beard sorcery.
Yeah! How many cans of carbonated drink have we all collectively opened?
It tastes like a 10% discount when you use code DistortionDevil, which you can also use at bonescoffee.com. That's right, Bones Coffee Company for all of your coffee needs, the coffee lover in your life or yourself. bonescoffee.com. Use code DistortionDevil to save 10%. And with that, I'm going to switch microphones, and I will get things started here.
Yeah, your sound quality changed. Something happened.
You definitely had a like radio DJ voice for a moment.
Definitely
Yeah.
didn't wander into my booth,
Oh my god.
cracking open a can right in front of my $1,000 microphone.
Hell yeah.
Do it for the bit.
What are we drinking tonight, Connor?
I am drinking Canada Dry Zero Sugar Ginger Ale.
No, okay. All right.
But with that, we should find out what sort of soft drinks they serve in the Astral Sea.
Mmm.
I heard that there is some form of angler's ale available there.
How
Hmm.
fucking dare you?
Alrighty.
Is ale
Are you-
carbonated?
Depends on
Yes.
Okay.
when. Ye olde times, no, absolutely not.
All right. Well, thank you for that fact. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you all for being here. But without any further ado, and feel free to interrupt me if you need any extra time or delay or a pause or a question. But without further ado, let us re-enter our story and once again dive into Kazador's Guide to the Cosmos. Within the vastness of the multiverse, within the reaches of the astral sea, the heart of a titan, beating for the first time in living memory, stops. As does the fighting within, at least for now. But as our crew find themselves navigating the various factions and complications within the groups living at the Gnosis Cluster, only time will tell who is a friend and who is a foe. And speaking of foes, or friends, one draws closer as you finish defeating your foe, the Wall, the horrid corruption caused by Starspawn within this ancient and calcified heart, known as Parev Recall. Behind you, you hear the soft sort of squelching, I guess, for lack of a better term, of the Githzerai Scion, whom you all saved from a all too horrid fate. Seemingly with some intent on their expression. And as all of you lick your wounds, gather yourselves, the individual patiently sort of crosses their arms behind their backs and floats just a couple inches off of the ground, seemingly waiting for you all to speak amongst yourselves, not wishing to immediately interrupt. And as the gentle hissing and popping and wet sliding sounds of the enemies around you slowly fade, it is your volition that moves you forward.
Well,
Around
Captain,
you, go ahead.
Well, Captain, it would seem that the immediate threat is at a resolve, but we should await to the next threat. If there is more to investigate here, I do not know that this role will be much help. Unless you can think of anything out about it.
We should be thorough. We don't want to leave any stone unturned, no surprises. Perhaps for the people that sent us here.
Admittedly, understanding the secrets of the arcane or things that are strangely beyond what most people would call reality are not specializations of mine. I trust your eye, though.
Can I examine yon wall?
Above board, remind me. Were there like any like? I remember talk of like a holdout. Like there was a holdout of other Giths. Who?
This was something you noticed. There are a couple things that were like holdouts. There was the one scion that seemingly was holding out. That was the one that you saved. They had locked themselves in some sort of psychic barrier or prison and were kind of floating above this crystal over here, seemingly protecting and defending themselves from the psychic assault from the various worms and the possessed other Gith. You have saved them, and they are waiting just over here for you. Other than that individual, there was you did not speak with them. You don't know anything about them. You saw a figure in the entrance in the temple that was watching you all as you entered. Right when you arrived, but rather than go and investigate, you decided to move inward, and that is just what happened.
Take your time to investigate, but brevity might be needed. There could be others that are holding out. That's it.
Kazador, walking up and investigating this growth, I would like you to roll your choice of intelligence or check of your kind. It could be investigation, it could be medicine, actually. I would allow medicine as well. Or it could be arcana. They would get you different things. You could also roll me history, religion, other things as well. Again, these would all get you different information.
Alright, let's see what we're working with here.
If you do investigation, you will have advantage because of your eyes of minute seeing.
That's
but
true.
That is just a physical investigation. That is you just looking around, seeing if you can find anything of note within it. It's not really analyzing it.
Gotcha. You know what? I will just roll Arcana. I will just roll a straight Arcana. 25.
Second.
25.
And that a little bit. Sorry, just the different fucking songs have different audio balancing sometimes. So it's a little
Yeah.
weird.
I feel that.
As you begin to walk up and examine the wall and the actual growths that have happened, there are a few things you notice magically. This is the term for this from an arcanic standpoint or from a technical standpoint is called flesh grafting. It is a technique that is done in various types of magic and various types of societies. It is famously associated with Starspawn, but there are other creatures that it is famously associated with. Certain mind flayers are actually very well known for flesh grafting. It is generally considered a taboo form of magical manipulation in many cultures due to the implications that come along with grafting creatures' flesh together, but it nonetheless happens. It's known to happen in the Abyss. It is also known to happen being from Toril, you would also be aware of the Red Wizards of Thay, because they are also extremely well known for flesh grafting. All of that being said, this appears to be something akin to that, as if someone was taking the flesh. No, it was calcified, but if someone was taking the ancient flesh of the Titan, the tissue and tendons and sinew within this massive organ, and were slowly grafting and fusing what looks essentially to be flayed worm flesh on top of it, integrating this worm-like texture and being into the actual flesh of the creature. You take a look around and you notice that pretty much all the things on the ground, the walls, etc., that's what all of that is. It is grafted on, it is fused onward, but it's also the kind of thing where it is now living flesh, whereas most of this is petrified. So it could, you think, fairly easily be burnt away or scraped or carved off. It might take time. Might not be something for you all to do here at this moment, but it is something that can be done. The corruption can be carved away. The last thing I will note about it is you do think any of the flesh that has been consumed or absorbed or fused directly probably has to be taken out and gotten rid of. That is it is irreversible damage.
I think we can stop the spread, but the damage that's already been done is irreversible.
I've seen magics, or at least heard of them, that if someone to lose a limb, this magic can be placed upon them to restore that limb. Does anyone here have access to that kind of magics, or know someone that does?
Hakka raises a hand. I do know regenerate, but I would need a day, or at least 8 hours to prep it.
Roll me a medicine check as you say that. You probably stoop to a knee and investigate it a little bit, seeing trying to determine and ascertain. It is huge. The flesh underneath is petrified. The flesh that is flesh has been fused. It is hard to say how much of an effect that would actually have. It is not living flesh anymore. The only part is living is the stuff that's been integrated into the worm system.
Upon a second glance, it seems the flesh that could be regenerated has been transmuted to stone. It's no longer alive.
Does it need to be for this place to still exist?
Hakka genuinely, I think, this is a little bit above him. He doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, with a 13,
Yeah.
what I told you is what you would be able to determine with your like material knowledge of medicine.
Well, if we were... Go ahead.
I've been able to cast Regenerate on my eye, and a few people of Oh God, what was the town where we set up a bar?
Lonelywood.
Lonelywood. And I was able to help some gods that had lost arms or legs in Lonelywood to regenerate this. And he kind of gestures to everything. I've never attempted such a feat.
Well, we're going to have to cut out the rot anyways. I was just hoping to fill the empty spots with something.
I am
Captain. Go ahead.
I am a little bit tapped on magic. I could prepare some transmutations of some kind. Maybe.
I could block the hole, but it would be temporary.
I do know a standard dispel magic, if I could attempt such a thing, but
I would imagine whatever fixes we can find towards this place are going to take a lot longer than just a few moments.
We
That
are
being
only
said-
here. We are only
But-
here to investigate.
True. But that being said, Captain, would you be able to perhaps have any censuses to guide us towards the next infestation of rot?
I could, but it seems we have a guest. Oh, wait a minute. That's just the Githzerai guy moving around.
Yes, yeah, he seems, sorry, he, they, she, very unclear what this individual seems to identify as. They have long hair, kind of pale green skin. They have flowing robes that show off a decent amount of their skin, like it shows off their arms and their legs, like all the way up their thighs, shows their midriff. But they have a very androgynous lithe body, and they're kind of like looking around, seemingly investigating a little bit, but there is a, as you kind of like, we have a guest turn towards them, they would sort of bow at you all politely, and I am hesitant to interrupt your conversation, especially of my saviors, but I would like to offer my request and my assistance. My order has tended to Parevrikal for many, many years, as you all would know time. We will happily clean what has happened in here. It is our duty. It is our way.
Then I suppose you would know best how to handle this. I think we should drop the matter for now.
Very well, Captain. We will follow your lead.
The vessel that is docked outside, on the ventricle, it's called, the like big opening, that a ventricle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That wouldn't happen to be your vessel, would it?
Not mine. No. That was sent with us. I am the primary... Seem to pause, as if they're almost gathering themselves, as if they are sort of in awe of the area around them to an extent, like kind of in awe, kind of in horror, like the classic definition of awe. It's not necessarily good, just like stunned to an extent at the...
Yeah,
They did just have to fend off a bunch of worm things.
Mm-hmm. They do say they're a little out of it, but they're trying their best to focus. My apologies. My mind is elsewhere. No, I am the scion of the temple. I have studied for many years under Magir Zarix, and have for many more overseen the temple here in Parebrikal. The ship outside, I have not seen it myself, but I can only assume it was the one that the warriors from the temple in... kind of looks at you all. The Gnosis cluster. Speaking in not Gith for the group of you. The Gnosis cluster has many well-trained warriors. I assume Xoruk sent some to help when I had not checked in. My mind was locked. I had been in that barrier for longer than I would like to remember. I am not sure if I could have lasted much longer. But fortunately, I do not have to know how long I would have lasted, thanks to you all. Sorry, your question was simple. The ship outside was not mine. It was the ship of the warriors, who you likely have seen. I take it they are dead.
From what we can gather, every Gith that we've encountered, save for my...
Xoruk is the second in command.
No, Marine is
the word.
first mate.
First
mate.
First mate. Marine has kind of taken that position, but you would also know that there is in many on many ships there's also a title of vice captain, which is different from the first mate. First mate is the person who interacts with the crew. Vice captain is exactly what it sounds. Vice captain.
Other than my crewmate Xoruk, every Gith we've seen in this place has been corrupted by those worm-like things.
Nods. Would kind of slowly, their eyes would drift over towards Xoruk. Xoruk, how much have you interacted with the temple in the Gnosis cluster? You would know without like any checks or anything. You would know just a little bit about them. They are, I'm just checking to make sure I have my notes in this correctly and I'm using the right names. They are a former Rakma. You would know a Rakma to be basically a group of zealous Githzerai warriors who travel around fighting Illithid and fighting Githyanki, fighting for the freedom of other Gith and Githzerai. They are extremely zealous is really the term for them. There is no other term for them. They have settled as into a temple in the Gnosis cluster, but they are not entirely. They are not quite as evangelistic as they may have used to been. But they're still very orthodox. So it's up to you how much you would have interacted with them.
And Vex would know this pretty, especially when people have offered him kind of safe passage towards these temples as when people found out he's a Githzerai. He would have turned them down seemingly respectfully, but Vex would know that he feels guilty being around other Githzerai. So he would probably avoided it.
Mm-hmm. Would look over at you, probably not immediately recognize you, but would recognize kind of what you are. Would almost cock an eyebrow or their head curiously at some of the Githyanki like armor that you're wearing, but would still nod respectfully in your direction, recognizing your attire to be at least Gith pirate, if not Githzerai.
Xoruk will look towards his captain. Continue the conversation.
I have one last piece of bad news. In this fighting, there are two individuals who I have seen and have reach up and kind of touch their head and have felt in my mind. Close their eyes for a little bit and they almost seem to like scan through the walls. One of which I do not sense anymore. An illithid with a strange mind and pale, milky skin. Is this one familiar to you?
Is he asking that of Xoruk specifically, or just
or to the group? Seemingly like just at the group review.
We did just meet an illithid of that very description.
And they
getting
are
my notes.
gone?
They retreated through some sort of... I'm not sure what to call it other than a planar rift.
We kind of nod. And what about their companion?
It had some kind of very muscular illithid with...
They would shake their head. They would shake their head, no. No, not the beast. Not the animal on a leash. Another one. Or ones, I should say. It moved like man, but was not. I have no words to describe it other than a pile of worms that walked. It wore a mask and hid in a robe, but I could tell its true form. Is this one familiar to you?
No. We've only received... The only two that sound familiar were the ones I just described. I've never seen anything like that.
Then I would stay on guard. I do not sense them, but that one was able to hide themselves from me.
There was...
You have not encountered them, they may still be here.
There was... I believe it was a mage of some description that we'd encountered that managed to elude us.
They look over towards the ground here where the mage had been killed trying to defend the
Oh, it
wall
died. It
from
died. Okay.
Xoruk. Yeah. It got absolutely borked at the last turn. Like it ran in, avoiding all its like normal defensive tactics to try to stop Xoruk from killing the wall.
If that's not what you're describing, then you truly haven't seen this creature.
Looks over at it and kind of examines. They cock their head. This one is familiar. They often walked in the wake of the one I described, but no, they are different. It is good to see that one dead, though. They were particularly vigilant with trying to enter my mind. Your will is your own. Do what you must. But careful.
Are you able to escape of your own volition, or do you need aid?
I will make my way back to the temple. Which route did you take? It would likely be the safest back.
Yeah, Kazador would just tell them.
Yeah, you describe them. They bow towards you. If you need anything, I will be in the temple. I request you see me before you leave.
Kazador
And
will
they
nod.
begin to float out. As they reach the orifice in front of them, it seems to expand and open at their volition, and they begin to float outwards through the hallways, leaving you all alone once again.
Yeah,
first time I've met a scion. Not sure what to make of it.
Hakka shrugs.
Scions out here are very different than the ones that I have grown accustomed to growing up. Though, in fairness, I don't think any two scions are the same once you leave Limbo.
You'll have to take your word for it. But Hakka is right. We should press on and finish our investigation here.
You will notice that this entire time this has been going on, Vex has been leaning up against their hammer as if using it as almost like a crutch. And while they don't necessarily say anything, you can tell that they are extremely worn and covered in blood.
Do you need healing?
I think I missed what you said. It was a little quiet. Could you repeat that? I'm
Sorry. Hakka asked, do you need healing?
There's a slow, nod up and down.
Alright. A 3rd level cure wounds. This plus 5. 36.
Yippee! I'm not sure what your magic looks like, but
So Hakka holds out a hand and essentially it almost looks a bit sinister. Turquoise ghost smoke sort of billows around you. But it does rejuvenate your life force as
Would you say it's kind of mist-like?
Yeah, misty, ghosty. Imagine the fog that kind of creeps around a graveyard.
You're welcome for that, Ferris.
Thanks, Leah.
As it is turquoise in color, it is lively, and it is rejuvenating in life force.
Mm-hmm.
Xoruk, in particular, would clock a tension, a slight tension in Vex for just a moment, but as they seem to be rejuvenated, they do stand up to full and resituate themselves.
For what it's worth, if I tried to cast magic on you and my ancestors did not approve of what you were doing, they would smite you down in holy fire. So it's quite a good thing that the healing kept.
I appreciate I'm not sure if this is a vote of confidence or if this is a warning, but whatever it is, I appreciate the context.
Every spell I cast is a request. The ancestors bestow me answers to those requests. So, and if you allow it, Vex, Hakka would do a playful little punch to your arm and just they approve of what you're doing. And they must approve of what we're doing. As Hakka would begin to stride forward.
They offer the smallest of smiles before letting you continue on your way.
Are we all fighting fit?
I'm not in the best shape, particularly, but I can definitely keep moving forward.
Then let me give you something before we leave.
Should we take an hour?
We could probably
do with a rest, although I not necessarily keen on staying here over long. A brief respite, and then we continue.
Xoruk. Roll me an intelligence check.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
9.
I won't know specifics, but you do remember that the various crystals, like the various mirha, has various different effects. Some of which are better for defensive things, but some of which are also restorative.
Some of the Miha around are more purpose filled with protecting or restoring their surroundings and those in it. If we could find one of these crystals that would be more beneficial to rest near, we might get a boon.
Oh yes.
But it is your say, Captain.
Sorry, could you run that by me one more time?
He was saying that the various crystals around here have certain boons. Some are defensive, some are more restorative. If we could find the appropriate crystal for what we might want while resting, it might help us.
Do you know of a way to identify the effects of the crystal?
Not with a 9 intelligence roll.
Perhaps I'll take a crack at it.
You can roll me an investigation or arcana check, Kazador, to see if
I
you
will
can,
roll
you know,
investigation
determine
on
more
this one.
magically. Yeah.
You do 20 ring.
21.
I can detect magic.
So can I.
Oh. Well. All right then.
Amazing. Amazing interaction. With a 21, you begin to walk up to like the nearby crystals. What unfortunately you do determine is a lot of the crystals in these inner chambers that are like extremely infused with worms seem to be really weak or heavily eaten away. The only one that seems like to have enough strength to maybe offer the like power it would normally offer is this one, and you would have to spend a decent amount of time around it. Stepping out, though, you kind of go up to the blue ones that you see in here, the more orange, amber ones you see out here, and if you'll allow, eventually out towards the red ones you saw over here. You do determine, pretty fittingly, that the red ones have a somewhat of a restorative function. The blue ones seem to have some sort of a protective function. Like when you hold your hand up to it, it almost seems to... There's almost like a density or a weight to it. Like there's a delay when you go to touch things, almost as if there's a magnetic repulsion effect kind of thing that's happening. The amber ones have a... that you can determine... and you have experienced that before when you were moving past them. They had this sort of gravitational effect where they would kind of launch you or pull you closer to them, depending. But moving past them, you eventually move up to here. These ones, for every round you healed next to them, you heal 1 HP up to half HP.
Ooh.
So you will automatically go to half HP if you spent 10 minutes or so hanging out there, and then you would be able to spend a short rest. It would significantly increase the amount of healing you get and decrease the amount of hit dice you would need to spend.
Yeah, Kazador would jog back to the group and gesture for them to follow him. I found something that could be useful.
And one by one, you make your way towards the red crystals, and you would see more as you make your way in there as well. The crystals offering a soft glow enough to give a low light in a lot of these rooms. Polygon.
Kazador, I think as we're shuffling in and as we're shuffling in and not on like super high alert anymore now that they're like getting in to try and rest. He's just looking around at the floor and the walls of this place and just really taking it all in for the first time. And I think he just mutters like, incredible, under his breath.
Yeah, it's oddly enough, it's maintained a lot of its color as if it were alive, but the ground and a lot of the walls around here, especially towards the entrance, like away from the worm stuff, it's cold stone with these crystal growths that almost seem to have bloomed out of the veins, almost like the blood itself hardened and grew out of it, crystallizing with the... You can tell that this place is absolutely infused with an unbelievable amount of magic. This, if the crystals in here, and like probably from your Kasigi upbringing, from like your very war-driven country upbringing, you can't help but notice that, like, if this were given to a fighting force, like if a fighting force found this resource, it could be absolutely used for who knows what. The crystals could be broken down and turned to potions, or turned to weapons, or turned to armor, or turned to defenses, or used as nexus hubs of various kinds. The various effects that they offer are extremely powerful, and you get the sense that a lot of this magic happens in tandem with other magics. It wouldn't interrupt or interfere with other magics as well. This is a extremely powerful resource here. You can maybe understand why the Githzerai have protected it so zealously. But one by one, over the course of an hour or so, you heal up to half, with like just in the first 10 minutes, and then you may you get a short rest and may spend anything you'd like on a short rest.
Alrighty. That should do it.
But half HP out the gate, no problem there.
I was already over half, so...
Yeah. And if anyone else was not quite up to half, you go up to half and then may spend hit dice after that.
I will, over the course of the short rest, I will convert a 3rd level spell slot into sorcery points.
Saris, those are rolling d4s for some reason.
I don't know why. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, you've got Paladin in there, right?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know why, but the
Paladin,
entirety of my time as a Paladin, it would always reset my hit die.
It should be
D8, I believe.
D8's for Warlock, D10 for Paladin.
Yeah.
Oh, D10 for Paladin.
The reason you keep seeing it is because I keep trying to figure out how to fix it.
I fixed it. It's that little hit dice, like the D10 number next to it.
Yeah.
I'm also...
It resets
You're just having
again.
some problems.
I'm also gonna...
But yeah, no. You spend some sorcery points, get some spell slots back. You spend some of your divine energy, get some spell slots back.
Roll
Xoruk,
20.
Saris, that's funny.
Roll 20.
But that is the first. That is the first one. Like you can spend after that. You don't spend those previous 3.
Four. We're fighting.
It's pranking you. Is there anything that Xoruk, Vex, Hakka, Kazador would like to do over the course of a short rest? That's so fucking funny.
God.
Maybe I don't want. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should use a spell. Maybe I shouldn't.
No. Roll 20's just being roll 20. If you want, I'll hit you with another cure wounds if you want.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just salty.
Because of the Harness Divine Power, I did get a third slot back. I can hit you with another third slot cure wound. There we go.
There we go. There we go.
That's much better. I mean, I don't think y'all have spent really much hit dice, so y'all are pretty good, yeah.
Yep, I got exactly what I needed.
So is it 8, 20, 27? So you go up to half, Saracen, then 27 after that. 27, 30. But yeah, I will go down the list. Hakka, what would you be doing during this short rest? Like, just describe it. Like, are you just, like, gathering food? Are you praying? Are you meditating? Do you have some conversations? Do you investigate around you?
I'll do some investigating. I think that's...
Yeah. What are you looking at? And it could be, like, you actually make a roll, or you just, like, look around. It's up to you.
I don't want to stray too far from the group. I guess I'll try to investigate the crystals, I guess.
Yeah. This is one of the ones that have the weird gravity. So as you kind of move towards it, it almost like pulls you, but then as you like desire to move away from it, it like throws you back a little bit. And I think Hakka, yeah, it's up to you whether or not how whimsical you would be, but you might have some fun messing around with that.
I think Hakka would once or twice kind of be whimsy with it, and then notice that other people are watching, and he would get serious.
Just a hey. Oh.
Do you want me to roll anything, or?
It depends on how intently you are. If you're just like messing around with it, you don't really have to. But if you're trying to like, oh, where did this come from, or like, I mean, because you're in the body of what you've heard is like the heart of a god or the heart of a titan. Like, you could be like, curious about the nature of divinity here.
Investigation.
That feels like a religion check if you're curious about the nature of divinity here.
21.
21. Looking at it, it is interesting. Like, you are roll me a medicine check as well.
Oh boy, here we go. 14. Not great, but
I mean, you don't know what the divinity's organ, like you've never seen a anatomical diagram of divinity before.
Yeah.
But it is interesting how much you note that like gods in scripture and gods in various religions across Toril are often depicted as these powerful otherworldly forces or beings in many ways, but they are also very often depicted as humanoid or human, sometimes giant, or even just like creatures or beasts, animals, etc. But it is interesting that how many are depicted in humanoid ways, and it's the kind of thing where like you assumed, or it's up to you whether or not you would assume this, but there is a common assumption among people that these bodies that they take are avatars, are just these like forms that they take to appear to mortals. But like, even though it's giant, even though it's massive, there is still a very biological element here to the internal side of this thing that drawn to question what the physicality of a god is. If this is the actual body of a god, was it just a giant being? It died. Does that mean it wasn't a god? Are your gods different? Just some questions that might pop into your mind.
Yep. Hakka's doing some heckin' thinking.
Storm?
Scarn's here.
I'm in retirement, actually.
I just looked down. Yeah, Scarn, my bad.
After I saved the fucking world.
After I saved the
real quick, Tara.
break.
You're welcome,
Real quick,
Matt
Tara,
Mercer.
have you ever drawn Hakka as Velociraptor?
I have not.
What the fuck?
That is absolutely the image in my head right now, though. But Kazador, as you were here.
Yeah, just mechanically, over the course of the short rest, I'm going to be converting a 3rd level spell slot into sorcery points, and then I will immediately use my Pearl of Power to regain that spell slot.
Nice.
I think Kazador would be doing a lot of the same thing that Hakka's doing. He's just sort of looking around, looking at the floor, just observing this place.
I think it's a lot of what I had described earlier, like the stuff that you're kind of determining about it. But if there's anything more specifically you as Kazador would like to investigate, like about like the individual crystals or anything like that, if you're like looking for anything, if you are potentially going to where the previous combats were, and especially this, I will also point this out just with you noticing that you would notice this big ass hole over here. And Saris / Vex, before we get to you, but like relevant to you, you are intelligent enough and have enough experience with fights to recognize a place that you saw from a different angle. You are pretty sure this is the other exit that you saw this hole lead to.
Gotcha.
So the hole in the in the room that you all had the fight against the like Githzerai unit of like warriors, as well as like the various like worm people, there was a hole in there, and you like remember looking down and investigating, you're seeing like some worm bodies on the other side, and you're pretty sure this is where that led to. The last couple things just to point out around you, just Kazador, that you would have noted that this over here is a Dorifice. This over here is a Dorifice. So this room on the other side of this wall, or this chamber, I guess, because they aren't rooms, they're chambers, literally. You don't see any way to access it from here. You assume that those are those entrances over there, and there might be another way to enter it, but you're not sure. And then you also know a Dorifice down here. Like on the far end of the room, it leads into a chamber that looks like it heads back towards the ventricles.
Yeah, we saw these other openings here as well. Kazador's just going to assume that leads out into this big sort of dock area, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, makes sense. But those would be the like geographical details. If there's anything specifically you'd like to investigate as Kazador, let me know now. In which case, Vex. And you can think about it if you want to come back to it. Like, what would Vex be up to during the short rest?
I think quite literally Vex is focusing more inward, and by that I'm not meaning that strictly in a like meditative sense, but more so in keeping the self together. So actually resting, not necessarily like in sleep, but just not getting up and moving around, not, investigating or looking around things, really just tending to their wounds and making sure that they're in fighting shape for whatever lies ahead. In the case that one of the group sticks around, they might start up a conversation, but if everyone else is just kind of doing their own things, they're gonna keep quiet into themselves.
Yeah, Xoruk and Hakka seem to be, to an extent, enthralled by the location you're in, which understandably so. You even though you're meditating, not meditating, but even though you're tending to yourself, it is, quite the sight. But yeah, no, I will if anyone would be hanging around or Vex would notice them. That makes sense. Otherwise, Vex, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy! Oh.
No negatives. This is to arbitrate something.
Okay.
And Xoruk, think about what you would be up to as we wait for the saving throw to go through.
Also, Kazador wouldn't be opposed to a conversation about Vex's after.
Yeah, I don't think Kazador is straying too far away. And Vex, it would be hard to focus too much, I will say. There is this almost ever-present unease right now that seems to permeate literally the very air you're in. There is a coldness, an emptiness, a chill that runs up your spine that makes it hard to focus your mind too much. No benefits.
Gotcha.
Not a like I said, not a failable one. A potentially beneficial one. But you would notice Kazador probably after like taking just a short walk down the hallway, seeing the hole and seeing the orifice, and kind of walk back to heal up a little bit more at the crystal Vex. You would notice Kazador is hanging relatively nearby. Same with Xoruk, I assume.
As Kazador sort of returns, they would look to him and just, as if trying to initiate the conversation, but not entirely sure, situational, I guess, circumstances. They would start with the, find anything interesting?
The whole place is interesting. We're walking inside of the perhaps still living heart of a divine being. Don't think any creature could call this uninteresting.
Anything in particular catch your mind or catch your eye?
Never taken a good look at the inside of a heart, but these patterns, it's glowing, all springing questions to mind about what a god really is.
I think that's a really meaningful question to ask, especially when you consider, and they're just gonna kind of like, I feel like I asked this before, but is the ground feel kind of fleshy?
Where you are now, no, actually. The ground is almost stone-like in texture, kind of petrified. Though, if you would go back to anywhere where the worms have infested, yes, it is fleshier.
The worms.
They would press a hand, like, deliberately indicating that sort of firmness underhand against the ground, and just look to him and say, I find it very interesting and very curious, the fact that this still living, beating heart would find itself so firm. I wouldn't imagine something of flesh would be this solid.
It certainly is strange. We've taken these floating organs, and in one case the skull of this long dead divine being, and made homes and businesses and places to rest inside of them. Own little ecosystems trapped inside of body of being that once people fell to their knees and worshipped, feared, loved, maybe. Makes me wonder.
Perhaps, in a way, they still do.
Maybe you're right about that. Makes me wonder just what our place in all of this is. If we're nothing but cosmic parasites flocking to a fresh piece of meat so that we can get what we need out of it. How far does it really go? Are there
It's around.
larger beings than this? Smaller than the eye can perceive?
I think there are many things in this world or in this universe rather, that we will never fully understand or have the answers to. Although I would question personally whether or not the line of thinking, whether or not we are simply parasites, is a bit, dare I say it, rather narrow in framework, or rather pessimistic, rather than perhaps examining it as a cycle and understanding that we are not necessarily parasitic but symbiotic. There are a plethora of different entities that host and feed, yes, but there are also others that nurture and keep this thing alive, keep it safe, or, you know, you could make the argument that that's what we're doing now, in a sense.
I suppose so. Forgive me, there was no intent behind the metaphor. It's just this whole thing just called the image to mind of a trail of ants flocking to a piece of meat that had been left out for too long.
I can see the analogy, and I, to be perfectly honest with you, in this circumstance, don't think it's too far off. I mean, we have, 3 different parties all looking at this same clump of rock with various different intentions, and one of which quite literally is to mine it for its resources. So I don't think it's far off, and my apologies.
Offense taken. Grand questions aside, how are you finding working with myself and Hakka so far? Xoruk has more than given me an earful on the ins and outs of navigating out here, but I've heard scant little from you.
I feel very akin to your situation, and of course Hakka, who finds themselves in new circumstances regularly.
50 feet away, Hakka's going in and out of like a crystal gravity thing. Just like testing the gravity in the background while y'all are talking.
I just hear the dumbass Hakka at the
Anyway, continue. I just need a backdrop to the serious conversation.
This
No,
crystal is cool.
I have this very, very silly mental image of Hakka like spinning, like floating near the thing, and it's like spinning because of the.
We got the fucking shooting stars meme, but Hakka. And I just, in the background, you kind of hear that really, really distant, like really heavily muted shooting stars sound as the two of you are talking. Go ahead.
I found myself in a situation where I know only bits and pieces. I can't say that I'm unaccustomed to planar travel, but I'm sure you understand this, that there is always something new, something different. Xoruk and I have traveled together for quite some time, but we haven't necessarily faced anything quite like this before. Our previous journeys had us dealing with other circumstances, other planes, and in turn, we find ourselves in a situation right now where my companion is well within his depth of knowledge. However, I am learning, and I find it quite interesting, so I apologize for my quiet, but I've been absorbing very, very much.
That's fair.
I have been in circumstances before where quiet observation, regardless of whether or not a person is quiet in personality, benefits on a survival basis. Where, yes, you ask questions when necessary, but you observe, you keep a vigilant eye, and you take note of things, lest vocalizing them, shall we say, attract or invite certain threats.
I can certainly see the merit of that as well.
When even the mention of a name brings misfortune, you learn to pick and choose when you speak. And again, I apologize if that is any offense or off-putting to the either of you. It's none meant in that way.
Oh, trust me. I know the dangers of invoking certain names. I believe my friend does as well.
Yep.
We.
And what has Xoruk been up to during all of this? Sorry to hold you to the end, but I do
that's
want to
good.
know
That's
what's going on with you.
Xoruk would have spent this time meditating, contemplating the journey thus far, but if anyone's paying particularly close attention, he's muttering to himself in the Gith language, kind of a repetitive, almost scripture-like words over and over and over again. And he is tearing up a bit. Meditating is a bit difficult in this place for him.
Not to just say, is that it? But is Xoruk just struggling to meditate during this time?
Yes, he's taking this time to try and reflect and meditate for the hours-long rest.
I think same thing, kind of similar to what I had Vex roll, but I will allow you to roll either an intelligence or a wisdom check.
17.
17. What is the primary thing that Xoruk is ruminating on at the moment?
Xoruk is trying to commit to memory the painful expressions on the face of the Githzerai, the Scion's almost reluctancy to accept responsibility for what happened here, and just the casualness of their survival. All these frustrating and angry things that most people would probably try to forget and move on. Xoruk is committing to memory.
And you can't help but be reminded of the issues you've had with Githzerai temples in the past. This detachment, this distant nature, the sheer lack of almost grounded connection that many individuals who follow the path of Zerthamon have to those around them. This lack of interpersonality, and cannot help but ring a little true. What is... this is going to be an interesting thing, but it makes sense for Xoruk, and it makes sense for where you are, and it makes sense for you, and it's something I enjoy, and so I'm implementing it. Feel free in this moment to ask me a question related to the things that you are meditating on.
I think the big question Xoruk would ask is, why are so many Githzerai, even outside of Limbo, so attached to something that traps them?
You have this question that sort of begins to bubble, begins to echo through your mind, and you cannot help but recall how the teachings of Zerthamon intentionally train people to distance themselves from attachment, in specifically with the purpose and reasoning being that when the Gith people lost everything, it was, and when they were enslaved, it was that lack of attachment that allowed them to truly rise up. And you cannot help but consider how in pretty much any situation where trauma happens, people tend to cling to something that saved them from that in that moment. That immediate defensive response. People latch onto that and are very reluctant to let it go, even when it isn't relevant anymore. And as that thought comes to you, you can't quite tell if that thought is yours or another's. You feel a presence leaving your mind, as if something was there that you didn't realize was there.
Xoruk will attempt to investigate.
Yeah. What check do you feel would be appropriate, as you feel this presence almost like it was observing you and is now starting to pull away? And it almost seemed to give you that response within your head. Like that doesn't have to be Xoruk's thought process. That is a thought that comes to Xoruk, and it could be completely alien to him. 20 insight. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that was it. I was going to read off what I wrote.
This presence that you feel or felt that is pulling away, rather than reach out, rather than try to reconnect to it, to ask it, to confront it, you internalize. You focus on yourself. You focus within the mind, thinking about the thought that it gave you, thinking about the purpose of you being here, what led you here, and you cannot help but remember the last thing that the Mlagir said as you were leaving, that you were brought there by Zerthamon. And this presence that is now drifting away, no longer able to be connected to. You swear you felt it before, when you fell out of limbo.
Feeling conflicted in his thoughts, he'll kind of stop his meditation. He was kind of floating about 8 inches off the ground or so, in that kind of classic meditative cross-legged pose, but he'll just kind of take a position on the ground, wipe away a few tears from the sides of his face, and just kind of feel the ground underneath his hands. Maybe take off his sandals and feel the ground underneath his feet.
The cold, calcified, ostensibly stone at this point feels cooling and probably a bit refreshing, especially because of the now that the beating has stopped, now that there is no longer a forced like movement and contraction of the muscles, there's no longer that cracking sound of like the stone breaking. Everything has kind of gone quiet. The warm Mirha that was being pumped out has stopped, and things have been allowed to cool once again, and probably gives some sort of relief to an extent to touch after the heat of the battles and the rooms you've been in up till this point.
After that, he's gonna kind of curl up into somewhat of a ball, almost like a fetal position, and just be rubbing the muscles on his legs and shoulders and arms and temples to try and calm himself down, but also to recover from the battle that we just had.
After some time, Vex, probably you being one of the most seasoned when it comes to resting in dangerous, unfamiliar territory. And yes, that is with full knowledge of what Kazador and Hakka have been through. You eventually sort of become aware of like passage of time and everything, and you have finished bandaging up yourself. You look around on your allies who are at this point closing in on puttering about a little bit, and you feel like you have taken the time you've needed. Short rest is completed.
I think at that point, Vex would stand up, look about the place, and just say, "It's time. We need to move before we become too stagnant."
Agreed.
We very well.
And what is the party's plan?
They will, since it wasn't quite communicated earlier, they will actually move a little bit over here and will gesture out to what they noticed over here and confer with the party. I believe that is our exit from the hole, the tunnel from the other room. Whatever burrowed or pierced through the wall found itself likely out on this side. So at the very least, we understand that those things are connected, and if there is anything else moving, we should expect some type of movement between those two points. We should keep an eye on it.
Very well. Very well.
Then let's move.
Moving right.
Are you making
along.
way through the hole? Or are you heading to the door of this?
Yeah, we have.
I'm heading
we
to
have
the
hole
Dorifice.
or the door.
Got it.
I figure we'll check this out first, and then we'll go into the mystery hole, the mystery orifice.
As you are checking out the Dorifice, I would like whoever is first to roll me a mental check of their choice. So you try to will the door open.
May I try?
Over.
Go ahead.
Hembushi. Just shy of a crit, a 24.
Just shy of a crit. You've kind of been watching Kazador and Xoruk do it, and you kind of step up. Whether or not you say something, you reach out your mind to will the door to open, and with force, with the command of Hakka,
He just angrily.
It almost just opens up scared. Like there's a fear to the way it opens.
It's a really angry like squint Hakka does, and he begins to like growl, and the door just opens, and it's like, that's what I thought.
There's no timing on this one; it just stays open, almost like it's afraid to close.
One fear.
Shall I take a peek inside?
Looking into the room seems to be pretty empty. This room actually seems to be somewhat cleared of Mirha as well. There's fewer larger crystal formations in here. Whether or not they've been taken out previously, that would require a check to determine. But it does seem that all these other three ventricles lead to the same place. You do notice one other thing, is that there's almost like a raised nodule or lump, I guess, of some kind. It doesn't seem unnatural, seems like a natural body formation of some kind. And there is another hole in that one that seems to lead down, and you have not seen a fourth hole. So you do not know where that one leads.
It looks mostly empty. So there is a hole leading down. What do you all think? Do we want to take that mystery hole? Or shall we take this mystery hole? It's okay, take your time.
Xoruk's looking towards Kazador.
Kazador, he'll look back at the larger hole. We've determined that this one just leads into this room, correct?
Yeah, you're like Vex was the one who inspected it earlier. Vex is like 90% sure that those two are just connected, especially if you just inspect it from this end and like look down. You're like, with your dark vision, you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just the same hole from the other side.
Vex mentioned that this hole leads into that other room that we've already been to. This one, we have no idea. I say it might be worth investigating.
Very well.
Does the room largely seem, for lack of a better word, empty besides the little growth in the crystals that we see?
For the most part, yeah. However, and I was actually kind of getting to that as you all moved closer, and I was going to get there when our dear friend Hakka, with their amazing perception, got around here. So
Okay.
as you all like move a little bit further,
Yeah, you want me to put a Hakka there?
yeah, it's not like nothing happens, but when you get there, you would notice, just because of how high your perception is.
Yep.
A couple
Passive
worms.
25, chat. Just as a reminder.
There's a couple worms just wriggling around on the entrance of this hole.
There's like a very like kind of like annoyed growled sigh from Hakka, just like we have more worms. Safe to assume whatever on the other side of that hole is hostile.
The odd thing that you note is, like, the safe assumption, but the odd thing you note is that it isn't like a pile of them like you've seen before. It's like one or two small wrigglers that are just on the ground over here. Do you continue to approach?
With my party being closer to me, yes. I don't want to be off in space and then combat starts and my party
Yeah.
members are like 200 feet away.
As you get closer, as you get to around there, the worms start to wriggle away from you, like, and it's only like 3 or 4, 5, 6. There's like one by one, almost a small trail of them is leaving this hole and is making their way out this direction.
What? Are they just leaving?
Yeah, it's almost like you described earlier, like an ant line, but with worms. One by one, just kind of squeak, squeak, squeak.
Why are they leaving? I thought they were feasting upon this place.
Perhaps
Not
with the
necessarily.
numbers.
You can go.
Okay. Perhaps with the numbers dwindled so much, they are looking to escape rather than stay. That Illithid did mention that their... What's the word? Operation here is... a bust. Something
Yeah, it
along
seemed-
those lines.
It seems they got what they wanted and left, so.
Do we know that the combat from last session and essentially destroying the wall thing led to a decrease in worm activity, or do we not know that?
There were a couple things that happened. A lot of the worm activity, the weird and the horrid part that was a little bit we discussed at the beginning of the session, that all these like worm veins were grafted together. So this wasn't technically like a bunch of worms working through the wall. It was all like one worm that was a bunch of worms literally fused together. And that was the reason it could attack you from anywhere in here, because technically this entire area was the thing you were fighting.
Okay, that makes more sense.
There were several piles of worms that were crawling out of this hole that the Scion just splattered, and that's what they were taking care of at the back end of that fight while y'all were... So, there might be a few more going around here. The Scion did say that they would go to the entrance and that eventually that their people would do a lot of the cleaning out and the repair work in here. There may be some more, like in this room, in this chamber you haven't checked, or on the other side of this hole.
Sure.
You are not certain about that. The only worms that you have seen, though, especially like in any amount of group, is this weird line that's sort of making its way out towards the entrance. But yeah, you have seen a significant amount less. You get the sense that you have smushed a large portion of them.
Okay.
Vast majority. What's the...
In my personal opinion, if we are to... I understand that they are planning on coming in here and doing the cleanup, but if we understand that these worms are likely a form of an infestation, it might be best to, shall we say, eradicate as we go.
I was thinking the same thing.
Can I sacred flame a bunch of worms?
Yeah, you just like, if you guys are just standing here talking, they're like moving at the space of 10 feet around, like a foot. Yeah. So they're like taking a while, and they're just kind of slowly, and so you're just like one by one.
Yeah, as Kazador and Vex are just talking, Hakka just kind of just idly just pew pew.
It might be worth going and investigating in further, unless you have any qualms or disagreements, and Vex will look to Kazador at that.
No qualms or disagreements. Just let's stay on our toes.
Can I look in the hole? Can I perceive?
Look in the hole after talking and everything and like blasting a bunch of them. Eventually, the worm line comes to a stop. And whatever like group of them was leaving, you've tuckered out their remains. There are quite a few of them that still made their way out, but you look down the hole. It seems to drop down and then take a hard turn, and it kind of twists. It's an empty vein of some kind. You can begin to make your way through it if you'd like.
Yeet.
Like, it's probably not good for the anatomy of the heart, but Hakka would begin sliding down, but like digging his like claws in as he's just like sliding down.
Eventually, I mean, it is kind of stone-like in texture now. A lot of this is not very wormed. This is like still the calcified, sedimented or petrified section. But you eventually make your way out into a chamber that has kind of a purple hue. It seems to have purple Mirhat in here.
What if it was purple?
What if it was purple? And it seems to have almost a sort of warping around it. Like it almost seems to reflect or refract light around it. Like there's that sort of it kind of looks like a heat shimmer close to the purple crystals, but like they don't give off heat. You would notice a kind of slime trail, Hakka, from the worm line that just leads further in this way.
Hakka
This
would
section of the room seems otherwise empty.
Hakka would point out the slime trail to his group.
Does
Do
it
you
look
follow
like the? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Does it
Ask a
look
question.
like the slime trail that he's pointing out just ends, or does it look
It
like
seems
if
to
you follow-
continue further into the back of the room. There's a part of the room that you can't quite see angle-wise. Seems to continue all the way back there.
Are you referring to like the shrouded area back over here?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Seems to continue into that shrouded area.
Okay.
You would have to once you make your way past the like second and third crystal, you would be able to see it. Just like angle-wise, you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Is Hakka leading the way, or who is continuing forward?
I'll get to about here. Does anything happen?
No, but you can see a little bit better into the back room, especially you. You see that both the orifices here seem to lead into this chamber, and there is a very large. This one is surprisingly enough smaller than this one. While this one is kind of wider and spreads out more, this one seems to span almost the entirety of the chamber, ceiling to floor. And you, again, high passive perception, would notice something about it. It has kind of odd shadows on it that the other ones don't have. That's all you would be able to determine from this distance. But it almost like odd striations or texturing to it that is not on the others.
These crystals, they're confounding. They don't look right. They look peculiar.
Hey, Leah.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to, I don't know, stroll up here and maybe see if these crystals have any, I don't know, properties like the other ones that we have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what way are you determining them? Determining the
Well,
property?
that's kind of what my question is, right? Because I know...
If you have detect magic or something that would do it, otherwise it's an arcana investigation, or it's an arcana or investigation check to kind of determine that.
Because I was thinking about how like the ones out there, right? They had sort of a gravitational pull almost to them, right? That you could just sort of feel. So I think Vex would be, as Hakka is talking, would just be... They're the same. So let's go arcana.
As I kind of described, these ones almost have like a heat shimmer around them, and if you like get kind of close to them or like put your hand kind of close to them, there's almost like a, for lack of a better term, stretching sensation.
Oh, interesting. 6.
Or condensing sensation. It almost seems to oscillate between them.
Okay.
As if your hand gets like heavier and then lighter, and then as you're kind of looking at it, like the closer you get to it, the more warped the hand looks.
Okay. So to that, noticing that,
Mhm.
Vex is going to look to Hakka and reply with, "Well, I would have, based on what I'm currently seeing here," and they're just like pulling their hand away and pushing it closer, and pulling their hand away and putting it closer. I would guess that these particular crystals work very differently from the ones that we were witnessing outside.
What have you discovered?
They're gonna do it again try to see if they can't replicate that sensation of it.
It's almost like when you get close, when the hand gets close, it's kind of like the hand goes through like a funny mirror sort of effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh.
It has kind of a tingly sensation, but that's about it.
Does it feel like when you hit your funny bone?
A little bit, a little bit. It's more like if you put your hand, it's more like, you know how if you're driving really fast and you roll down the window and you put your hand outside and there's that like pressure and kind of cold sensation? It's kind of more like that.
Okay. As Kazador also approaches, gestures for Kazador to see and replicates it again.
You know what? I think I'll blow the spell slot. Detect magic.
Detect magic. So there is the magical aura you get while you're in here is almost blinding to the point like the magic has to adjust to really discern anything between the things. The floor, the ceiling, the walls, every piece of everything in here is magical. There is no part of this that could not be purposed in some way for some magical purpose. Like, this entire thing has magical energy just coursing through it. But if you focus specifically on the crystal, there is... The magic is very blurred in these things, and if you would inspect, kind of like if you would go through the Dorifice and kind of inspect the blue one as well, you would notice that a lot of the crystals have, usually have sort of a dual representation. They kind of float between two different colors or two different hues and indicate two different things. These ones have sort of an abjurative effect and sort of a conjuration effect.
Well, pointing out the obvious here, the entire area is magical. But these crystals specifically, they're a hybrid of magic, abjuration, and conjuration. Very peculiar.
Vex is going to slow turn look at Xoruk for a second. I may be drawing some assumptions and some conclusions. You don't happen to think that the pirates who hired us are looking to mine this for magical qualities, are you?
They very well could be.
Do you trust that scion to not harvest this heart for evil purposes?
Frankly. No, go on.
Just a clarification. I'm not sure. To Hakka's comment, Vex was referring to the people that originally hired them. Not
Okay, then.
Yeah, the pirates. I assume Joarth.
Okay, then you know what? Redact what Hakka
Yeah,
just
sorry
said.
about that.
No, that was Theropod being confused. Hakka's anyway.
You're good.
But yeah, abjuration, conjuration.
Was Kazador gonna say something?
He was. He was going to say, frankly, that's not really any of our business. At least not at the moment.
Kazador will get the little video game update saying Xoruk approves. +1.
Oh, the upper left corner of my vision. Oh, it's just a pop-up.
But again, like I said, Hakka, while y'all are inspecting these, You do notice that this one has a textural difference than all the other ones, like the ones you're close to.
Yep. I will, assuming my party keeps up with me, because I just don't want to separate from them. Yeah, I'll
As you get closer, it comes into more and more detail. There's a the finer lines are able to be made out more specifically as you see that this crystal, floor to ceiling, has been striated with runes of some kind.
Runic magic.
Like the giants?
No, I'm just double checking y'all's languages real quick.
Hakka knows Common, Draconic, and another one that is funny hoo ha ha.
Yeah.
I know Common, Goblin, Dwarven, and another language that is funny, haha.
Oh, Infernal. Kazador and Xoruk. Xoruk, I feel like, has a chance, actually.
Yeah, I would say because it's so different, like giant runic magic than like Hakka's magic, he wouldn't be able to tell. Like
Yeah.
Hakka can look at like runes and be like, yeah, that's magic runes, but like what type of runes? Like shrug.
Xoruk has.
Xoruk.
Oh.
Roll me an intelligence check. And you can say your languages as well, but I did just check them.
14.
14. You do not know this language. It is almost an insult for Gith to learn this language for many reasons. It is not a language that is pretty to hear, pretty to read, pretty to write. But it has certain similarities to languages you know, and you would be a failure of a geek hunter to not at least recognize deep speech when you see it.
Gotcha.
This is deep speech. I can't read it myself, but Illithids usually either speak Qualith, that's more of the written form, or the messages to their subordinates and underlings in deep speech.
The thing I will give you this though, it seems to be Qualith is like a dialect of deep speech that is specifically spoken by Illithid. This seems to be like a more archaic form of that. Not the truncated form that they use for speaking to underlings. Like, the more you inspect it, the more it has similarities to Abyssal, actually. It seems to be like an ancient form of deep speech writing. Probably someone who even spoke deep speech would have trouble translating it.
I'm afraid
It's like,
I can't.
Or go ahead.
I'm afraid I can't make out quite what it's trying to say, but if anyone has the ability to form languages into pure thought for themselves,
One moment.
I'm certain you'd be able to read it.
I will cast Comprehend Languages.
Yeah, makes sense.
And as you move up to read the ancient script carved into a crystal within a dead god, that's where we're going to take a quick break. I have
Oh boy!
Alright, let's see what we're working with.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom too with my 7 cans of LaCroix on my
Did
desk.
you drink them all already?
No, heavens no.
Okay.
I'm through like one of them, but yeah, I'll be right back.
Listen, I don't know what human capable of. Whew.
And right on time for the ad break as well.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that scene with me earlier.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Kazador and Bex haven't had much opportunity to interact.
Yeah,
Nice to finally
it
have
was
one.
good. It's about time.
It's only been 7 episodes.
I have finished my first, so I am actually gonna momentarily step away to grab a second.
Very
I am
fair.
I'm debating on what kind of cold one to crack open.
Ooh. I think I will also do this.
Alrighty, I'm back. This has been a really ponderer of a session.
Indeed. I'm pondering.
Mm-hmm. Doing a heckin' think. Well, hi, chat. How you doing?
You ready for this?
Oh. Yeah!
To the people who heard 0.3 seconds of Freak on a Leash, no, you didn't.
Did you open up an MP4?
No!
Did you open it up an MP4 in a Discord?
No!
I just assumed it was the raid. The sound from the raid.
Down from the raid?
Yeah, Bracky raided around the same time.
Oh, we got raided? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bracky rated us.
Lies.
SMH.
I was too busy on a leaf.
Boom, knock the boom, dom, namer.
I appreciate the worms go marching one by one. Hurrah! Hurrah.
Yep. Is Corn still doing stuff? Is Corn still doing stuff? 1 second. What is the latest release of Corn? 1 second.
Well, you could say that it is on a cob.
The ideal of greed. Anytime spoilers from the pre-written campaign Icewind Dale comes up that Kazador as well as Hakka were in, anytime that comes up, before they can talk about it, something freezes their mouth. And that's kind of the above game tongue-in-cheek, because I'm going to be going through the module as a player pretty soon, and I've never read through it. So it's Leah, Thero, and Connor's way of very politely keeping spoilers away.
Yeah.
It may have some campaign relevance at some point, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But that is, yes, it is some sort of curse that they received while in Icewind Dale. And they can't talk about it, because if they try to talk about it, same thing happens.
Yeah. The only thing Hakka has been able to get out is a claim that he's defeated the Frost Maiden, which spoiler, you fight the Frost Maiden.
Yeah, the main boss of Prime the Frost Maiden is wait, get this, the Frost Maiden.
Spoilers, sorry, chat. So
the person on the main cover? Whoa.
Yeah, right.
Every module has the final boss on the main cover. Why would this be any different? Whoa.
Fight the BBEG
mm-hmm.
in a deep.
But yeah, that's the joke there. It's the in character that has been happening ever since the finale session of
Yeah.
Icewind Dale in for the characters is
Mhm.
that is what happened post the end, is that curse was set upon them. And it's honestly, it's been kind of a fun thing to write around.
Yeah. Because we don't want to spoil Zed.
Oh, you spoil me enough.
I am really excited to
Oh,
hear. I will be
bitch.
watching every episode
Oh,
of Monty's
same.
Icewind Dale. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Just kiss already, you two. Only with Celia's permission.
Yeah, Stormy don't give a fuck.
Polyamory, baby.
Am I streaming Icewind Dale? No, it's been somewhat alluded to already, but hasn't been announced. But Monty is very likely going to be running Icewind Dale after Mad Mage in the same time slot.
Yep.
Because we're getting pretty close to the end of Mad Mage.
I probably
How many more
shouldn't. I probably shouldn't mention who the final boss of Vecna Eve of Ruin is.
No
Oh
fucking way.
shit!
I
Pass.
how dare you?
You're right. It's Paylor.
Oh god.
That
Oh
makes
yes,
sense.
you've seen that copy pasta of how Paylor is an evil god.
True.
Mm-hmm.
It was me all along, Paylor.
None of the gods are particularly great
Yeah.
within context.
The final boss is obviously Jar Jar Binks.
My God.
Oh. Well, we got to make sure he doesn't eat any children. We got to make sure there's no children on set.
True.
You ever hear one of those bits that just haunts you in your dreams? This is one of them. It's not even my
Transmission?
bit. Yeah, I keep hearing it.
Zan, this isn't a bit. This is serious. Jar Jar Binks is an actual alien that George Lucas brought onto the set of Phantom Menace, and he ate a child.
Yeah, it's no laughing
It was-
matter.
This is no bit. This is no laughing matter.
The only bit was the one that Jar Jar took out of that child.
Jesus Christ.
The bite of 87.
Oh my god.
He's gonna turn you into doo-doo.
They use Power World kill.
Oh no. I wish George Lucas committed to making Jar Jar a Sith Lord. That would have been amazing.
Incredible stuff, truly. That's how Anakin falls to the dark side.
It's what should have been. It's what should have been.
Spoilers.
I can't believe you spoiled Revenge of the Sith, a movie from 2005. God.
Wait, Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader? But that means Darth Vader is Luke's dad?
Verbal is Kaiser Soze.
Yeah, it reminds me of like somebody on a podcast was talking about this. They love to watch like people that are like 18 or 20 years old watch Lord of the Rings for the first time. And in their head they're thinking like, man, how have they not seen Lord of the Rings? How have they not like sat down and watched Lord of the Rings? They're such great movies. Well, it's because they weren't born yet. And so and having that realization, they like shriveled up into an old man.
Yeah.
True.
All right,
That's how old
Connor.
people are made.
I'm not awake enough to get Vivek posted right now.
Vivek posted, yeah.
Me when I realize I'm just a construct in some giant being's brain.
The Titanic sinks at the end. Yep.
Huh?
Yep. That. Yep.
Why did Gandalf do that?
Gandalf sunk the Titanic. Oh no!
You shall not pass! Leonardo DiCaprio! Ah! Well,
God.
I'm back. Are we all?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm here.
He's-
Are you?
Yeah.
We built Bit City.
We built it city on rock and roll.
All right.
As you, all right, everyone here, everyone good? Does anyone need more time?
Not good.
All right. As you step up to the crystal, carved with ancient runes in deep speech, a language so ancient and so wrought with corruption and myth that few speak it. But as the magic fuses through you and translates the words as Xoruk put it into pure thought, you read the following, and you notice that it is almost like a religious passage, a piece of scripture that seems to, and it's not immediately obvious because of the way it spirals around the crystal over and over again, but it seems to repeat. And it repeats as follows. In the name of Drin, we are given thought. In the name of Valara, we ride as one. In the name of the progenitor, we conjoin all. In the name of the father, we fuse. In the name of the mother, we infest. In the form of the follower, we are free. In the world of our all-consumption, we will live.
Could you
Repeat it again and
Could you write
again and again, and I will write it down.
Thank you.
Y'all talk while I type that out because I have it written down.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I imagine Kazador has to translate that for us, otherwise.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tran-
Kazador would be reading aloud as he's just pouring over the words.
Yeah. When you're done translating, Hakka would make this connection. He doesn't know if he's right, but he would say, with the follower, they're free. Weren't those pilgrims back in town? Didn't they mention about some follower
They did.
and how they wanted to unite all the planes?
That seems to have been the gist of it.
I wonder
this
where
is-
this.
We don't see what language we can't identify what language this is.
It's deep speech.
Oh, it's deep speech. It's deep speech. Okay.
Yeah. I wonder where this path to the follower leads.
Maybe I'm a bit bold and drawing connections where there might be none. But didn't the Illithid previously mention something about
He wanted to ascend.
yeah.
He wanted to ascend past Ilvash, the god of Illithids.
Mhm. I have to wonder if this is something that they were looking for. And to your point, with the followers, there's a pause.
Mm-hmm.
Vex then looks to Xoruk, almost for like confirmation. Xoruk, the Gith folk don't typically speak or utilize deep speech, do they? It's mostly
mostly just illithid, correct?
Speech is a sacred thing amongst all Gith communities. Deep speech does not have the same implications as the way my people would normally write. So you are correct.
I have to wonder then what the gap is then, or what connecting piece there is then between a group of individuals seeking to unify all as one that don't utilize deep speech in a crystal as this, when the crystal such as this and the runes written on it might be more recognizable to a being such as our. And they say this with like a bit of like sarcasm. Shall we say tentacled friend.
Not all Geik are born in the same ilk, created in the same pods, many of which have different ambitions than another, even if their reasons may be the exact same. The Geik are just like any other thing. Some can be bound by a leash, mentally no longer having the faculties of their own. Some are different, craving their own personal freedom and expression. But others seek to break their chains through domination of others. They see changing the world around them by chaining it to themselves rather than being chained to it. The Geik we met, I think, is of that ilk. These words, they ring like that of one who wishes to conquer, not to liberate.
Roll me a history check with advantage. You're talking about Ilin once more.
History, there it is. 10.
You are thinking about it. You are... There's a lot of things. There's a lot of variance in Mind Flayers in many ways. And like you were describing, you were absolutely correct in pretty much every way that you were talking about. But there is something that it's like it keeps coming back to your mind. You're like, why do I keep something in the way that he looked that was different, that beyond just the like Milky Way's texture, etc. And then it comes to you. He had 6 tentacles. 6, not 4, that pretty much all Illithid have. 6. And you know that to be an extremely rare mutation. It is the sign you think, you don't know anything more than this, but it is the sign of an Illithid that has the potential of becoming an Elder Brain.
The Geik we had encountered, the one that ran away, it had a rare genetic form, 6 tentacles. I thought perhaps at first it was simply an Ulithard, but that's not quite right. Creatures such as this can eventually form into Elder Brains, or at least, to my knowledge, they can.
With the term Ulithard, various ways to pronounce it, you think that is what it is, but again, there were so many other things that were odd about it. The Milky Way skin, the fact that Ulitharids are usually the like chosen of a Elder Brain, and that makes you wonder what an Ulitharid might actually be within the like deeper structures of Mind Flayer society. It's something you probably don't know.
Ulthar, it's translated into their local tongue as enlightened ones. They are usually picked and groomed for leadership to increase an elder brain's thought, process, and ambition over the cosmos. A spawn of their will. But this geik we met is different. Not only in the way that they present themselves physically, how they act, they refer to themselves as themselves, not we or collective. And I did not sense any ambitions of an elder brain upon their presence. I do not quite know what that means. Every room we have met has brought more questions than answers. But I am thankful that we have all chosen to make sure that this place is as cleansed of rot as possible. I only apologize I cannot be more assistance, Captain.
It's quite alright.
What? 1 second. This is just for me. Would I know what an Elder Brain is with a 15 Arcana?
Elder Brain. I mean, it sounds. I think you would be able to kind of have that sort of like line of logic, plus like the knowledge of yours that is not yours is imparted to you to an extent that where you have the you reach the conclusion that an Elder Brain is likely the core leadership of illithid societies. Some sort of, you're not sure if it actually literally means just like a big brain or if it's just a really old mind flayer that's very powerful. I think you probably wouldn't know that difference, but you're pretty sure it's some sort of illithid leadership.
Hakka thinks that to himself.
You have this image of in your head briefly of like a big illithid sitting in a chair with just like a really big head, Megamind style.
Oh God.
Captain, if this creature does want to ascend as they claim, for no other purposes than to themselves, it would make sense they would try to find a corpse of a god, glean any sort of information or power, or both from them as they could. I do not know if they achieved their goals here, at least not in full. But with them gone, I do believe that we have satisfied the arrangements of what we agreed to do. Upon investigation, and going a bit further by removing the source of this rot, at least for now.
The removal should prove to be a benefit to everyone if everything we've learned here is indeed correct.
I believe you're right, Captain.
Then I suppose we are done here.
I am worried. That masked individual. Where could they have gone?
Hakka, your eyes are once again drawn towards the crystal, but this time not at the crystal itself, towards the base, where a small, almost spiral of slime remains and slowly trails out.
Hakka, if I may have...
Go ahead.
Hakka, if I may make a request.
You may.
Look me in the eyes. Do not break contact with them. Do not blink. Breathe slowly.
He does.
You come from a world very likely where things have a sort of science to them, a pattern. One thing leads to another. Where you are now is not such a place. You will find far more questions than answers in every corner that you find. It is important, yes, to note your surroundings. But it is clear, and far more important, that you keep your goal ahead of all of that. Otherwise, you will find yourself down a rabbit hole chasing at ghosts forever. There's a reason why so many minds have evolved in the material plane and outside of it. Most go mad out here. They are not careful. This is understood, Hakka.
Hakka looks around.
Crystal.
He'll nod and kind of blink, breaking the more intense contact.
Yeah.
You are a skilled warrior. This I have no doubt. This I have seen. This strange masked creature might be present within our future, but for now they are not. All we can do is move forward towards our goals. Whatever gets in the way, we will handle together.
And Xoruk will offer kind of a dagger-checked hand.
Oh yeah, same.
Now, Captain, is there an expedient way we should return or head back the way we came?
There's still the matter of that building out front.
The temple.
I did spot somebody lurking in there.
The Scion did mention they were going there and requested you stop by before you leave.
We should make good on our promise before we head back to...
I think Kazador, because of the mental connection that he's had with Xoruk, Xoruk would kind of fail to hide the fact that he was really hoping we would kind of forget about that place and move on, but because you said it, that is your will and ambition, he will nod in compliance.
Alright, let's not linger over long, as I said. And unless we are impeded, Kazador will begin leading his crew out to this ventricle over here.
Seems as though the only thing in this chamber was that crystal in the back with the spiral of slime around it. Though as you walk out and you head towards the hole and then out towards the entrance, you do find that you are following that same trail and eventually scorch marks from where Hakka was sacred flaming them. And this trail unnervingly continues, leading down the steps, around, and then stopping in front of a window.
Had to zoom out to drag Hakka over.
All good. Inside or onto the platform, a pseudo stone-like structure, seemingly just floating in space, hanging off of one of the ventricles. Pieces of Mirha are shackled to the stone, almost as if they are being held there and kept there, as probably pieces that were floating ambiently around. One by one, I assume you make your way around towards the entrance? Unless anyone would like to do anything else?
No, I think we're heading straight forward. Yeah.
Yep.
And as the door kind of creaks open, you kind of all immediately see an empty room for the most part. It is darkened. There are sconces and little holders for candles hanging off the walls, and down at the far end of the room, a table seems to be set up with those little pillows for people to kind of squat and cross-leg on. And there are two individuals sitting on either side of it. One on the far side, one back facing you. And on the nearby, kind of behind the one on the far side of the table, you see two other forms, and they are both sort of in fetal positions, and they're moving slightly a little bit, kind of shaking, and you hear soft whimpering coming from the far end.
Uh-oh.
And as you enter, there is the figure that is facing away from you, back towards you. The Scion looks around towards you. Their face is impassive, but as best as they can, but it is betraying emotion. There is rage edging out on the corner of it. You see the veins popping out, nostrils somewhat flared, brow somewhat furrowed. They're trying to maintain a level of composure, but nonetheless, seems to be difficult for them to do so. There is a certain level of distress you all can read as well. And they seem to be holding a cup of tea, or something like it, but the tea seems to have gone cold. And on the far side, what originally looked like a humanoid figure, a bundle of rags and a mask that, as the Scion looks towards you, you all see this entity, a strange-looking mass of worms that seem to hold somehow the vague visage of a humanoid. The only thing that gives any amount of expression on the body that they maintain is this porcelain mask that cocks slightly. You hear the squelch and drop of worms to the floor as they look their head towards you. And all of you in your head hear a voice, or voices, like thousands of little tiny voices all saying the same thing at once, making one singular sound. Ah, 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 ah. So. The ones have finally come. Welcome, new flesh.
Were expecting us?
Well, we had tea ready, but we would need to heat it up now again.
So the Scion you see their hands sort of tense and flex, gripping the cup that they're holding harder.
The Scion, they
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned it seemed like they were like trying to stymie their own emotions.
As if they're like trying to maintain a certain level of composure, yes.
Kazador, aware that Hakka has the ability to see into people's minds, will sort of gesture with his eyes over to the Scion.
The helm of telepathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you want me to do that with the Scion or the bundle of worms?
The Scion. He gestures with his eyes over to the Scion, trying to get if they're in distress, if they're being like manipulated magically, or if they're being held hostage here. They're in a
state of elevated state of emotion, essentially.
Yeah, let me. Yep, I will. I guess. Let me just get the Helm of Telepathy up because I don't have.
No worries. What are Vex and Xoruk's immediate reactions to this, out of curiosity?
Xoruk looks pissed. His hands are kind of on the hilts of the daggers. He looks like he's wanting to kill this thing in front of that's speaking, rather, but is constantly giving glances back to Kazador like, no, I have to wait.
Okay, I think. Yeah, okay. I don't have detect thoughts on my sheet, but Helm of Telepathy.
It allows you to detect thoughts, which will give you the surface thoughts of the figure at the bare minimum. You read there's a mantra that is going through their head, but the mantra is like the thing that they are trying to do to maintain their composure. That is the main thing at the forefront. But the emotions and the feelings, their actual thoughts, are kind of leaking into their foremind a little bit more. Than you don't need to delve any deeper. You can if you want, but you don't need to delve any deeper to read pure concern for the two individuals behind the whimpering individuals that are behind the robed worm figure.
In a language that only Hakka understands, Kazador will whisper, "Anything?"
And in the same language, Hakka would say, "It seems the Scion is extremely worried for their friends behind this worm creature."
Is it safe? Roll me an intelligence check really quickly.
Is it safe to assume that that this worm creature is holding them hostage, behind him?
That seems like a pretty good assumption. The worm figure is in between the Scion and the two figures, and the Scion seemed very decisive and proactive and was ready to throw hands back in there. There is probably a reason why it is not attacking, which you can kind of read that from it.
It seems this masked creature is holding the others hostage. And yeah, intelligence.
Intelligence check from Vex.
Vex can speak the secret funny language.
You recognize, you do not know the name of, but you do recognize the language that they spoke.
Oh, shit.
Cannot translate it, but you do recognize it. You have not heard that language since Faerun.
Oh.
Español.
Acá. Me gusta bailar con queso en mis pantalones.
Kazador.
Para bailar la bamba.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Español requiere un poco más práctica.
Anyway.
Requiat in pace.
Right.
Tortellini.
So there's definitely a moment of recognition, but I think
there's a lot going on. It was just funny that this is the first time it came up.
That's definitely a moment of we're gonna pocket that for later. But
it is just funny that is the time that came up, the first time that came up.
Right? Wow. But I think with regards to
go ahead.
Creature in front of us, Vex, because you had asked this before, Vex has two immediate reactions. One, they're gonna actually look at their tome
because at the beginning of all of this, their tome was having a very specific reaction. I'm looking to see if it is replicating that reaction.
Yes, very much so.
Amazing.
Okay.
Hammer it out.
Not in a sense of like actively going to attack,
But you're ready.
Mhm.
I also missed this about the Hema telepathy. As long as you maintain concentration on the spell, you can use a bonus action to send a telepathic message to a creature you are focused on. It can reply using a bonus action to do so.
Mhm.
So can Hakka ask it what is going on here in
The Scion.
The Scion,
Yeah.
Careful with your words and your actions. I will follow your will, as you are the ones to save us. But it has my last remaining Zerth under its will. It claims they can still be saved, but only if we cooperate.
I almost said it. In the funny language, Hakka would relay back that to Kazador. And then in common, just, I'll follow your lead, Kazador.
We are here to propose a trade.
Kazador looks over his shoulder at Vex and Xoruk.
Vex looks like, just to be blunt, they look like they have an idea, but they are not. There's a layer of uncertainty about it. But they're clearly mulling over their options in like assessing the situation, and they look like they have an idea. Are uncertain to speak it.
Kazador's probably the first time he's ever seen Xoruk actually angry. Every time he's in combat, he's more focused and determined. Xoruk looks pissed and unable to fully control how he appears. He looks like he's ready to throw daggers at this guy immediately.
Crash out.
We would recommend that your ally stow their blades for now, lest you wish more death.
That just made it worse for him.
Yep.
Kazador will gesture for Xoruk to stand down.
Xoruk will keep his hands away from his wrists, but still look very upset.
Want to talk? Let's talk.
Question before we initiate conversation. If hypothetically I were to want to whisper something, can I, based on, settings of acoustics and the situation here.
So I run whispering as follows. Like in general, you can try to whisper in pretty much any situation. It sets the DC as the various contexts. How to whisper, it's a stealth check with your wisdom score instead of your dexterity, and it does not suffer from armor penalties.
Don't we
We have
Sorry,
earrings.
yeah,
But
we have
you
the funny
also
earrings.
have the telepathy earrings, the group call.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I am going to then, upon assessing the situation, right? Like it was a question of essentially, do I need to use the earring? Is the thing.
Yeah.
So I would then telepathically, whisper, in the group chat. I have a particular spell that might benefit us, though it might put our other party on edge. I can, for a time, with everyone's permission, guarantee that the only thing that is spoken is the utter truth.
Kazador maybe pitch that to this creature.
Kazador will think for a moment. Seems that you've got us at a bit of a disadvantage. You want to speak to parley or ransom, whichever word you prefer. But we have no way of knowing if you intend to uphold your end of the bargain. Would it be amiable for my crewmate to magically ensure that what you're telling us is true? I will also subjugate myself to this effect so that you know that my words are also the truth.
We will allow this, as long as everyone allows this.
The
Kazador
Scion
nods to Vex.
slowly nods their head.
Vex cast Disintegrate.
No, I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
Alrighty. So the effect washes over even the strange mass in front of you. You do feel as though it does subject itself to it, though for you it feels more like thousands and thousands of little things allowing it than one thing.
Par for the course.
Like
Fun.
hundreds of thousands of minds agreeing in unison.
I expect no less of the swarm.
The wrath of the worm.
Yeah.
The worms!
But with that, everyone is under the effects of Zone of Truth. I'm currently in the process of trying to get Roll20 to cooperate so I can broadcast the description.
Do any of you want tea?
And you see the fucking, like, jaw on the Scion, like, clench.
Kazador will go up and inspect tea if it's been laid out.
Roll a history or religion check.
I will roll history. 23.
You recognize it due to a little bit of your time with Xoruk, but also the temple you've been to recently back in the Gnosis cluster. This tea set that the worm is currently using and is serving what looks like a very foul-looking brown liquid in seems to be an item of extreme religious significance. It bears a lot of iconography and is seemingly made of Mirha itself.
If I smell the liquid, is it unpleasant?
It smells earthy. The Scion shakes the head no at you.
I believe I'll decline for now.
So be. And the, like, mass of worms would reach out and pour itself a glass and then just pour it onto
Toby,
itself.
now we're talking.
Like, onto the... Yep. Lizard milk.
Oh boy, hell yeah!
We are glad. We are finding new things. We were left. We wish you to save us.
save you. And how do you expect us to do that?
We have spent too long together. We have named ourselves. We wish to maintain. We wish not to collapse. We were left. We have no escape. Threat was the most effective method. We wish you to send us home.
And where is home?
Far away. We know trade. This is something that you like, yes? We have things you like. Knowledge. What wish you to know?
The Illithid. The white one. Are you in league with it?
The one who calls itself Illin?
Correct.
We know of. We work alongside Chosen of Drin. They are. It is. We are not Valara Mother.
The first two from that fucking poem.
Yeah. In the name of Drin, we are given thought. In the name of Valara, we are writhe as one.
You, all of you hear that like whispering. That's like that verse, that scripture being like whispered, almost like in the back, like at the corners of your soundscape, kind of from behind you. But if you look, it would still be sounding like it's coming from behind you. Just this, and it sounds just like writhing flesh, but nonetheless, you can't help but tell it seems to draw to thought the verses that were recited for you.
Colleagues we are. Term you use, yes?
I suppose in this instance, yes.
Serve different, master.
Then Lin.
Masters serve same master, work alongside. His way.
Telepathically, Kazador, you'll get a message from Xoruk. Captain, may I speak aloud?
He nods.
Creature for us, or creatures rather. Have you the ability to read minds, thoughts of others?
Seems to pause. This we cannot do.
Then allow me to shed information towards you. You want to trade information. whatever it is you can trade for safekeeping back towards your home. But do understand you come in the matter of aggression. For the people of Gith, and myself, and he points towards the Scion, there is no greater insult than to be held captive. We would rather die. If there is anyone you are holding against your will, that must be brought forward and dealt with before, not after. We agree to terms of your safety.
We would lose leverage. Determined this was most effective method to safety. Assumed death on sight.
There are many creatures here in the cosmos. Many creatures who look far more threatening and sound far more threatening than you. They are allowed to walk amongst all manners of civilized folk, because they do not assume anything. It would be wise to learn from their example.
Will you stow blade if we free friends?
My blades are stowed the moment my captain asked me to do so, and they shall remain until he orders me otherwise.
Will our safety be guaranteed? Looks at Kazador. Like the mask. It's the only way you can kind of tell they're talking to someone in particular.
Kazador will the sort of obsidian colored staff that he's been holding, he will pass it over to Hakka, and he will sort of float ahead of the rest of the party. You have my word that unless violence is invoked on your behalf, you will see no violence from us. So long as you release your hostages.
Looks at the Scion. Is this in accordance with the temple? The Scion pauses and looks at you, Kazador, and like makes eye contact with you, and then closes their eyes and slowly nods. You hear a kind of squelching sound and a like pained cries, and you watch as two slightly longer than like the average one amongst them worms slither back to the main group from the two that individuals behind you. They immediately stand up. You see two individuals. They are younger than the Scion in front of you. They are wearing attire. One of them seems to be somewhat beat up. The other is a little bit more okay. The one that's oddly enough more beat up seems to protect the one that's less beat up, and the two of them very carefully make their way in kind of a circular route, giving a wide berth to the worm pile behind the Scion towards your group. Goodwill. We can almost understand mortals now. You do not wish to go.
You could spend your entire existence among the mortals and barely learn a thing.
That wasn't a threat, but
it just kind of looks at you and cocks its head. Noted. Is trade met? Go ahead, Vex.
Do the two Gith, the younger Gith, when they start coming towards us,
Vex is going to gesture to the two of them like a get behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to take a protective stance.
For a
around.
brief moment, you see two faces that aren't too younger, Gith, but it quickly flashes back.
Squints.
Huh?
Do I
Not like an illusion or anything, just like you have this sort of like memory flash of
Okay, yeah, like
raising
we've
a
been
shield
here
in
before.
front of two other figures, kind of
Yeah, like
hiding
we've
like
been
that.
here before. Understood.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like a
yeah,
like a
Vex is-
PTSD response,
Yep,
sort of.
yep. And Vex is going to almost fully, like, non-verbally steel themselves and take what is an extremely practiced, protective defensive position around these two Geth. They are not going to move, and they are not going to say a word.
The Scion, for the first time in all of this, speaks aloud. If it is good faith that you wish, you will cleanse our relic and no longer taunt me with it. The porcelain head kind of turns towards you. We learn cruelty from those that exhibit it. But it would reach the arm up, and it sort of washes its arm over the tea set, and he watches a lot of the foul liquid is almost like absorbed into it.
Can I telepathically ask the Scion, like, what did they do to the tea set? What did they do to the relic?
Nothing more than defaced the sacred artifact of our people.
Deface how?
Unsure entirely. It seemed to be just a cruel joke, perhaps a trick of the mind.
Above board, I'm not sure if anyone else is thinking this, but because they said a relic, could it be that? Are we thinking that it might be the crystal with the
The Scion seems to be talking about the crystal tea set, the Mirha tea set, that's like
Okay.
set in between the group.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He pulled some sort of like brownish liquid out of it.
Got it. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page. Thank you.
You have given your leverage away. You seek safe passage away from this place, correct?
We assumed death when we were left. We seek not that. Give us passage or send us home.
I don't believe it is within my power to send you home, but I will let you leave this place, as I've stated.
Ship outside. We take this. The Scion seems to like wince slightly and then nod.
Very well.
Captain, the only safe place for these creatures to be able to find passage back towards wherever they're from is the cage.
This is it. This is in our minds, correct?
No, he's gonna quietly kind of say it to you. Say it aloud.
Yes.
You're bound for the cage, then.
Home of doors, where we gather. Yes.
Kazador thinks about that for a moment.
I think the we was like the coming from the bundle of like the fact they're a bundle of worms.
Sure.
No, but
And also-
it's more
and
like
also-
oh, these creatures are allowed in Sigil? Okay.
There's a lot of weird shit allowed in Sigil, so
I think anything is allowed in Sigil as long as it's not a god, but
Not to kick this problem down the road, Captain, but I guarantee any ill intentions these creatures or their allies might have will not stand a chance in Sigil if they attempt their ambitions there.
I'm not sure what
Fine.
your goal is here, but I've got the distinct feeling that our paths may cross again.
We believe this to be true, yes.
I can only hope that our discussions will continue to be civil.
We do not seek violence. That is a mortal trait. Are we free?
You may not
Hakka.
seek violence, but you've shown a willingness to inflict it. And that makes you just as fallible as any of us. But for now, I will keep true to my word.
yeah, Hakka would back off to like one of the walls to like allow passage.
Now, unlike the figure in the picture, this figure does not have a staff. And as you finish talking, the robes and the mask seem to disappear, melt into worms as it just descends into a pile. And one by one, the worms march out of the various cracks and holes in the window and seem to arrive along the outside of the Power of Recall towards the ship, the abandoned Githzerai vessel. And as you all watch as it detaches and flies off into space, you're left alone with the Scion once more, who, as you would turn towards them once more, is on hands and knees prostrating before you.
Then Kazador would just pull the brim of his hat over his eyes and just let out a long sigh.
Hakka would hand you your staff back.
Zone of Truth drops. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check on the two smalls.
Yeah, can I do a medicine check?
Yeah, the Scion, and Hakka rush towards the two, the younger
I was standing in
apprentices.
front of them protectively.
Yeah. So you were immediately the first one there, Hakka rushing up. Are you doing anything, or are you just like reassuring them, like checking in on them emotionally?
Willing to, however you want to rule that. I was going to offer Hakka advantage, but I would check in, probably trying to either help with Hakka doing a medicine check or checking in with them, just like
Roll a persuasion check.
okay.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming, chugga. With the 23 medicine, like as that is happening, Hakka, you are able to look them over. They both have a small sort of hole or indentation behind their ear where you think there was the insertion of the worm that came out of. Inspecting it now, it doesn't look like there's anything more. These things didn't have the huge worm that was like attached through the ear or like into the shoulder. It seemed like this was probably one of the starting stages of that, is that a worm probably burrows its way either behind or into the ear and then grows out of it.
Damn, really splatterhouses them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I want to do this to be thorough.
But you're thorough.
Great.
Yeah. No.
TheropodArt.
You know what? I will have Hakka blow 2 second level slots for 2 casts of Lesser Restoration on each of them.
As you cast Lesser Restoration, I will give you this. You still spend the spell slot to learn this information, but you think that does cleanse a lot of the flesh and a lot of the feeling, and I'll even say it like heals up, kind of like not pain wise, not HP wise, but like heals up the hole to an extent, and like cleanses it to keep it from getting poisoned or infecting or anything. Like it cleans the wound. But you also determine that you think that this, even though it is extremely alien and even though it is extremely strange and very beyond what you would normally be able to deal with from a medical standpoint, you think that mix of like medicine and magical knowledge is possibly a way to deal with this if you were to come across it in the future. And you think a remove curse spell may be able to help this earlier stage of it.
I do have remove curse prepped.
So that it is not something you need to do here.
Yeah,
but you think if you came across that in the future, you would be able to do that.
I'll look over to the Scion. Just
they're clear of any parasites.
The Scion nods as they're kind of getting up from prone. I cannot thank you enough. We cannot thank you enough. I assumed that this temple was abandoned, and I was coming to grieve and to offer respects when I found the situation. I had only recently broken in and was in the process, but by myself, I did not feel confident to fight it without it killing the others in time.
You did the best you could.
You did better. And looks over at Xoruk. I know you not, but I know you are of our people. In fact, you may be more worthy of this item than this temple is, especially now. Gestures at the tea set. Take it.
This is your will.
This is our will.
Then I will honor it.
He will move over to very carefully pick up the tea set.
The moment you lay your hands on this tea set, a flash, a memory that is not yours, blooms in the forefront of your mind. and you see two individuals sitting on a bone, kind of floating out in space, with lines of nautiloids slowly on the horizon moving towards them. These two individuals sitting with this tea set in between them, sipping from the cups, kind of look towards each other and begin to engage in discussion. And the discussion is lost to you. You don't hear it. It's muted and muffled and seems to be like heard through a filter, but you know the other two because you've seen them depicted in just about every Gith text and historical piece that has ever been written, as Zerthamon and Gith share tea together, discussing battle plans. And as that memory comes to you, and you receive the tea set of tranquility, that is where we're going to end the session for today.
Tea set of tranquility?
Can I quickly ask, with that 21 persuasion,
Mm-hmm.
do they seem a lot more calm now? Do they seem...
They are. So the whole reason Hakka was able to examine them to the level of they were able to determine that is you kind of kneel with them, and between you and the Scion speaking, and primarily you checking in on them physically, you see two individuals. You see a scared individual who was brave and tried to protect their friend. You recognize something in them, something that you've seen before, that the person who's hurt, the one who was trying to protect the other, despite also being hurt and weak and tired themselves, trying to protect the other one, you put your hand on their shoulder and you let them know it's okay to let others help you.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify. Yeah.
I hope that was good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Oh god, what a good session.
Yeah.
But thank you all for being here.
We
Would love to
finished
keep going. I definitely have more written, and definitely makes it easy for me to run next session. But
oh yeah,
thank you for being here.
Tune in next time.
Mission complete. That's our first successful outing as a party.
First dungeon.
And I believe, if I may say so, we
y'all crushed it. Y'all did really well.
We did that with flying colors.
Yeah. We saved the dude. We saved the hostages.
It may not have been an ideal outcome, but it certainly isn't shit, and that's due to our intervention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew.
I'm happy.
Very much so.
Good stuff, everyone.
Mm-hmm,
all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, I'll go ahead and I'll send you off for the time being. But for now, thank you so much, everybody. Let's go down the line again and tell people who they are, where they can find you. Starting with Pharaoh.
Hi, hello, that's me. It's your boy, TheropodArt. I don't have any more cans to open, so that bit has been dead.
Hold on, Thero. I got you.
Oh, hit me up, buddy. Hit that shit. There we go.
Ooh, that was a nice ASMR one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of ASMR, I actually don't do ASMR content, but I do content over on Blue Sky, Tumblr, for Affinity, all TheropodArt, Lizard Fun Bags if you want to see the naughty stuff. Over on Twitch, I'm trying to play games, I'm trying to do art, but life just gets in the way sometimes, and I don't stream as much as I like, but I'm working on it. We got things coming, chat. Keep your eyes peeled. Other than that, commissions are open. Give me money, I'll give you art. That's how it works. It's pretty simple. If you liked me playing Dungeons and Dragons and you want more of it, Tuesdays, Vecna, same bad time, same bad place. And if you want even more of that, Thursdays, Burnout Vaughn channel, where I play Pack Tactics. It's a murder mystery. Woo. That's it for me.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
I have so much LaCroix I have to drink.
It's the bed you've made for yourself.
Dude, my kidneys are gonna be so hydrated.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
Effervescent. How does he keep opening that same can over and over? Crazy.
It's like I made a sound clip and I'm just using that now, so don't open up more Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that's
incredible.
That's
funny.
really smart. That's really
That's
smart.
so
I
good.
probably should have done that. That's really smart.
Was that just generic or was that one of ours?
You tell me.
See.
Damn.
500 can openings.
You know, I've seriously given a lot of thought to just making sound effect packs and just selling them.
Do it.
Seems
They are
like
very
it'd be a lot
useful.
of fun.
I think half of it would just be your vocal stems.
Just
Gorge.
a second of
20
silence. What?
20 gigabytes of fart noises? Okay.
No,
About
21.
to bust.
Oh, that's
21
good.
gigs.
You know what I should do before next session? I should
There's
get Art
mom.
of Thrash.
You know what I should do before next session?
Theros
Is
mom.
tell Saris where they can find them, what they're up to.
It never ends. It never
You can
ends.
find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. Sunday, we're over at Burnout Vaughn's channel for more spooky. Monday, Deltarune at Leah's channel. And then we're back here again for Kazador's Friday. That's me.
Yippee!
Yippee! Up next we've got XanillisGrimm.
Hi, that's me. You can catch me tomorrow at twitch.tv/theunexpectables at 6 p.m. PST for some more Gateway. And then on Thursdays, as Sarah's mentioned, twitch.tv/burnout at 3 p.m. PST for some more Those Who Wander. As Sarah said, spooky. Leo is also there. Then on Monday, twitch.tv/XanillisGrimm at 7 p.m. PST for some more Stalwart Souls, which is another fun D&D game I run for a few friends. Then twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 1 p.m. PST for some more Vecna Eve of Ruin. And lastly, but certainly not least, twitch.tv/MontyGlue at 7 p.m. PST on Thursdays for some more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Aside from that, you can catch me here every Friday. That is me. Yeah.
Yeah. And, of course, we couldn't do this without our wonderful GM, Amusing Thalia.
That's me. You can find me at XanillisGrimm on Blue Sky. You can find Xan doing a bunch of really cool stuff on Xan's channel. You should definitely go there and check out Xan's stuff. I do stuff on my channel as well, I guess. I also have a Blue Sky. And then Saris is running a really cool game on Sundays that also has Xan in it, and you should check it out. That is a very cool spooky game, and that is the cool stuff that's going on around me, and I get to be here and I get to hang out with my friends, and it's the best.
Speaking of the best, Connor, what you got going on?
Well, shortly after we sign off here, might shoot for around like 9:15 maybe. We're gonna be playing some Peak. I have literally never seen anything about Peak.
You're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah,
It's gonna be so fun to watch it play. It's gonna be so fun.
I only barely know what it's about, but we'll be figuring a lot of it out shortly after we get off here. Yeah. Saturday off. Playing a lot of D&D that day. Twitch.tv/The Unexpectables for some gateway. And then on Sunday we've got more the Tales of Ian Clute as we play through Fallout 2. Yes. That's basically about it for me for right now.
Yay.
This episode.
So Connor. Oh, never mind. You got there. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm not doing the transition.
Beards.
Do you find yourself unable to resist the compulsion to rub a bunch of stuff into your beard? Then go to Beard Sorcery. Use code DistortionDevil, where you can get a bunch of helpful, healthy goop that you can rub in your beard. And if you use code DistortionDevil, you can save 10% off on all of that goop.
I love beard slop.
The beard slop, amazing stuff. And if you want
beard
some
sloppery,
and if you want some wake up slop, head on over to Bones Coffee Company, where you can drink that delicious bean soup. Use code DistortionDevil, you can save 10% off on some delicious artisanal coffee at bonescoffeecompany.com. And with that, I don't think I'm going to be rating anybody, but I will be going live again real soon here, just after I get up, stretch, get myself something to drink, and get everything situated. But I hope you'll join me in maybe 15 or 20 minutes for some peak.
Yeah.
It'll be peak.
Will be peak. But for now...
Sounds like peak content.
Indeed. Take care, everyone. I will see you all the next time I see ya. Have a goodbye.
Goodbye now.
Fare thee well.
Bye-bye.